Let me bring in our legal analyst guest this morning. So pleased to have on the show high-profile criminal defense attorney and former prosecutor Michael J. Brown. Oh boy, Michael, these facts, it's chilling hearing what's alleged here. What are your thoughts on this defense attorney now, new defense attorney, new trial? This woman gets a mulligan, taking the approach that the fire was not intentionally set by her. Do you think that could change things?
It could. Julie, if you go back to the actual appeal and you look at the decision, there's two basic things that the court looked at it and had a problem with. One is the prosecutorial misconduct, where in the closing statement, the prosecutor continued to call her a manipulative liar, 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 keeping in mind she never even testified. And that's a big no-no, as you know. The other part of it is the defense attorney, it was deemed incompetent counsel, ineffective assistance of counsel, because he didn't bring an expert witness in, and apparently there was some evidence to suggest that it was not intentionally set and/or she didn't set it. So this attorney is following through on that. The techniques apparently have advanced and progressed since that time. So yeah, if it's in fact something that is justified and that there is evidence to that effect, I think it's a great move.
Michael, thank you for that. We caught up with him briefly late in the day yesterday. Let's take a look at some of what he said.
If you look at the situation she was in, the absolute terror of that situation, it's fight or flight. And so if you don't remember specific details and they're inconsistent, at the end of the day, the fire science tells us there was no arson. And if there's no arson, there's no crime.
Ooh, okay. Michael, do we see maybe a defense theme there in his last line of the interview?
Yeah, if there's no arson, there's no crime. And then he talks about the fact that she panicked and fled the scene and hit her husband. I'm looking forward to seeing what the evidence is. You know, sometimes you have battles of the experts. Sometimes you only have one expert. And again, we have seen advances in the arson field and investigations since this matter went to trial. So that could be very important, whether for the prosecution or the defense. So I think that's what he's alluding to, and I think that's where they're going to go on this trial.
Yeah, great points. Michael, so curious to see how the boys are doing. Of course, our hearts go out to them. You have to wonder, after all these years, do they feel any differently? We saw how they appeared in that interview with 48 Hours, but who knows now? Thoughts on how they, as potential witnesses, might be able to influence this case?
Well, I think now, I don't know the first trial, and I suspect in the first trial there was some uncertainty that they had. But it's clear from their interviews now that the two sons are convinced that the mother actually killed the father. So certainly they're going to be favorable to the prosecution. They're going to, I hate using the word skew, but they're going to slant their testimony in that direction. So I think they will certainly be a weapon for the prosecution to the extent that they can, keeping in mind she apparently wanted to leave the husband and move on, and that's going to be something that they can describe to the jury.
Yeah, definitely. I can't wait to see. They're getting ready to do the opens in a couple of minutes. And Michael J. Brown, thank you so much for all the great analysis. You're going to be standing by. We appreciate you for that. When we come back, it is time for Court TV Live. We're going to Michigan together for Linda Stermer's retrial.